Brian and Charles is a heartwarming comedy about fear, loneliness, and the importance of human connection. Here's my review of one of the best films of the year, Brian and Charles. This feature was developed from the 2017 short film by the same name, which I've linked below. Brian and Charles is a mockumentary about a socially awkward hoarder and oddball inventor named Brian who builds a companion robot from a pile of junk. He names the robot Charles, who soon takes on a life of his own, becoming more adventurous than his safe creator, Brian. Charles acclimates himself by reading the dictionary and inevitably becomes quite curious about the outside world, the world beyond the borders of Brian's isolated Welsh quarters. Charles craves adventure, unlike Brian, who wants to live a boring and obscure life, protected from heartbreak, harm, and danger. Brian's an endearing creature who collects junk which he uses to alter household appliances that he claims as new inventions, oblivious that he makes these contraptions worse and inoperable. Which is such a metaphor for how Brian sees himself and how he presents himself to this phantom documentary crew, a disheveled hermit, obtuse and discarded, like a pile of junk that nobody wants. So he builds a better Brian, a robot who's willing to experience life. This is such a touching story. What I love most about this story that David Earl and Chris Hayward developed is the distinct journeys these dual protagonists take. In the second act, when Charles wants to go to the store for a pack of gum, Brian forbids it. Brian fears Charles will encounter danger if he goes out into the real world. Brian is intimidated by Eddie, played by Jamie Mitchie, a neighbor that terrorizes the entire village. When Eddie finds out about Charles, he's going to steal him and destroy him. So Brian projects his fears onto robot Charles. Charles doesn't know danger. He wants adventure, and even after suffering turmoil and near death at the hands of the terrorizer Eddie, he still wants it. And through robot Charles's bravery, Brian finds enough courage to give love a try. Hazel, played by Louise Brealey, is Brian's love interest, who's just as quirky as he is, but she makes Brian come alive. She sees him as a treasure, not like a pile of junk as he sees himself. Now he doesn't need Charles for companionship and therefore releases him into the world to experience it. Director Jim Archer really captured the vapory essence of this isolated Welsh village and the tone of the story with such deep, resonating messages. And it's photographed beautifully. The score has solemn notes that punctuate the loneliness and soberness of the story. I highly recommend Brian and Charles, the feature film and the short. This is one of the best films of the year that will indelibly tug at your heartstrings. And hopefully it has a good chance at some adapted screenplay nominations later in the year during award season. It's currently showing in theaters and available on demand. Please see this film and support independent filmmakers. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. Please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, peace.